I hadn't really earned the right to be healthy.
Thanks for
Yeah,
hopping on, Chris. I'm really excited to dive into your experiences here. To start us off, can you give us just a quick intro on who you are, where you live, what you do for work, and kind of like what your life is like?
for sure. So I'm Chris Freedom, and I have two adult children. Um, and my daughter's off to college. My son lives here with me, and my wife and I have been together for we actually, it's kind of silly in a way. We just celebrated our 30-year anniversary of being boyfriend and girlfriend, which I thought was kind of fun.
That's
So
awesome.
30 years is a long time. It may not quite be our marriage, but 30 years is kind of wild. And we're still besties, so all that is good. Um, let's see. I work for a pharmacy. I sell for a pharmacy. We are a closed door pharmacy that provides um, prescriptions for people with developmental disabilities. And I spent 25 years running a service provider, providing staffing for those people. And so I know the industry, and they recruited me over. And now I'm working for this pharmacy. And if I'm being real, to me, it feels like a retirement job. I mean, I'm only 50, but um, it's it's so in alignment with who I am. My job is to go make friends with people, and I love it. So it's really good. I also own a driver safety company and a safety video company, and I'm part owner in a company that develops pro formas for surgery centers. So I have a lot of projects. I'm kind of I kind of have that serial entrepreneur mentality. So like my most excited part of the day is when somebody wants to talk to me about what business we're going to start next. To me, that's exciting. There's
Yeah,
always another way to make more money.
yeah,
And and the irony is I'm really not a money-centered guy. I'm about relationships and connection and love, and that's who I am. But I've learned how to make money, and it's a whole lot of fun. I guess I do that instead of video games. So um yeah, I mean, that's me in a nutshell.
that's
So,
great. I love that. And with juggling all of these different with work, with being a parent, a spouse, like what's your life schedule like? I guess like how much are you working? How much are you traveling? How do you
yeah.
juggle it all?
Well, I went through I went through like a 25-year period where I was all in doing like literally like 90 hours a week, crushing in human services, and it was just eating my soul. Um, and I feel like I've done my time. So every situation that I get myself in, I kind of negotiate that I get control of the schedule. I get control of how I implement things, and that kind of freedom honestly makes me work harder. It makes me enthusiastic. It makes me blow up. So I everything is really in a sweet spot. The pharmacy knows I have these companies, and it's in writing, and they're 100% in support of me doing that concurrently. I took the job really to teach me how to sell so I could sell my driver safety stuff. Um, but I'm just also kind of crushing in the pharmacy stuff. So it's like one of those, I'm just double dipping. And so it's
Yeah,
really, really good.
yeah.
And um, I schedule everything. Nobody really schedules me for anything. I have the right of refusal even at my corporate job. And so um my boss kind of looks to all my experience and kind of respects me as an equal. So I don't feel like I have anybody managing me,
Yeah.
which is fantastic, which is exactly what I want. So
That's great. You got a great setup where you get to run your own schedule and do things you love, and
yeah.
because of that, it leads to you even working harder in a good way. That's really
Yeah, but
cool.
it kind of took 50 years of me negotiating to get things
To
exactly
get to
where I
this
needed
point.
them.
Yeah,
So things are pretty ideal, and I don't take it for granted. I'm in a sweet spot and I work very hard to keep it perfect. So,
Yeah,
you know, adding good health and fitness to my lifestyle is only emphasizing my ability to stay in this sweet spot longer. So it's good.
that's awesome. Take us before you met me. In regards to your health and fitness, what were you doing before this program?
I was scrolling Instagram and seeing a whole bunch of things that I could have been doing and hating myself for not doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that's the truth of it.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't focusing on, tracking anything. I mean, listen, like you said, like your quote earlier in the call, like I already knew everything. It's not as if I haven't read everything 10 times. It's not as if I haven't been exposed to this over and over again my whole life.
Yeah.
But it's about psychologically what I was resisting, what I was avoiding. Uh,
Mm.
Um, and again, I go back to what I said at the very beginning is, I really haven't given myself permission to have good health. I don't know. I don't know. There's something I've been latched onto that I don't know. It's an overstatement to say I thought I deserved to be suffering, but it's definitely in that neighborhood. I kind of felt like I hadn't really earned the right to be healthy. And I know that's big and I know that's heavy,
That's huge.
but I had kind of an effed up childhood, and I've been through all the therapies, um, and I think I just had to let go and realize that in my core I have inherent worth, and that nobody gets the right to take that away from me, not even me, not even me.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing for me to come to terms with. And so, um, I just, the minute I've decided to allow my inherent worth to give me the right to be successful, um, and that I don't even have the authority to stop it, it's
Yeah.
just like it kind of unleashed me a little bit and allowed me to start improving myself.
Wow. That's really powerful because I even think about it from a lens of, I mean, it could be doing this program, could be doing anything, but really taking action and like actually like investing in yourself is a direct action of saying, I am worth it. And you're literally putting a number amount to like, I am worth this much, or my health is, or whatever thing that you invest into, right? It
Yeah.
could be like
Yeah.
developing my sales skills is worth this much to me, whatever it is. Um, how do you think that, did you notice any changes like just in the act of like signing up for help or like getting a coach?
Um, well, I mean, the funny thing is, like, you guys have been clutch, and the resources that you provided have been so on point that it gave me a simple and easy path so that I didn't run into reasons to go back to my old pattern. But
Mm.
even in other areas of my life, like again, I already knew most of what to do. It was just resistance. So like I've just kind of relaxed that resistance and just decided, okay, well, let's just freaking do this. I was doing this thing where I would kind of freeze up, and I would sit at my computer sometimes for hours and not really get anything done. And it was infuriating because I had a lot to do. And
Mhm.
and listen, I'm a top shelf bullshit artist. I mean, I'm in sales for a reason. I convinced people that I still deserve to get paid, even though I wasn't getting a whole lot done. And and they all thought I was a champ, but I knew better. And so the minute I kind of gave myself permission to be successful, I realized I could sit down and just get to work. And I started just, I don't know, I started hustling more. I started being able to move more and um, move the needle on all of my initiatives in life. And so it was rewarding.
Wow. What do you think shifted for you where you were able to give yourself that permission?
Um, I don't remember the exact moment, but I just there was one particular day where I heard it. You know how lessons come to you until you learn them in the universe? Like it's just the way it works.
Yep.
And I had just been thick-headed and resistant and refused to learn this lesson. And there was just one day where it was kind of like out of a movie. Like every NPC that I encountered out in the world, every regular Joe that I encountered out in the world somehow told me that I had self-worth, that I had worth.
Mm.
And it happened like literally like 6 times in one day. And I was like, I mean, who am I arguing with? Like clearly I bring value. Like, and I look back at my life and like I've done a bunch, even in the struggle. Like I've done a bunch. I've moved the needle. It's just been freaking grueling working against my own resistance to get it done. But I've done a bunch. And then, you know, why do I have to make it hard? Who says I have to make it hard? Life is really actually easy. And I'm just bullshitting myself, you know? I mean, it's a silly thing that I saddled myself with. And uh, you know, there's no reason to suffer.
That makes me think of this quote that says, "We keep the beliefs we're willing to fight for."
Oh
Sounds
yeah.
like you had a certain belief system where you're like, life has to be hard. I deserve to suffer. Like, all these
Yeah.
things.
Well,
Yeah.
this is heavy and this is like, I have a tendency to be maybe oversharer, but so feel free to delete this if you don't want to share
You're
it. But
good.
well, I grew up in a household where my dad died when I was 6, and my stepdad, I mean, basically told me that I was trash in so many different ways. And I believed him. And I think deep down I just struggled with, whether or not that was true. And I went through some stuff like in therapy, and I went through some stuff just like with a couple of books I was reading, and then with these breakthroughs that where I just realized that was his brokenness, and it's not for me to carry,
Yeah.
and I can just give it back to him. Like he's gone, love him, miss him, forgive him, not clinging to that anymore. His bullshit can just stay with him, and I'm gonna not pass it on. I'm done carrying that.
Yeah.
And so, I still have moments. I still have moments where those neural pathways flash, and I'm like, I have a moment and I'm like, nope, that's my bullshit. Going away, moving on. And so there was some liberation in turning that corner.
Yeah. Wow. That's really powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Um, it's it's so true. Like, actually, I know not to just keep bringing quotes into this, but
I
I'm a
love it.
big reader. I know you're a big reader too. There's a Buddhist saying that says resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the
Yep.
other person to get sick.
Right.
That really makes
Uh,
me think of that, and it's easier
I
said
love
than
that one.
done to like truly let go. To truly like,
Well, when I hear that quote, every time I've read that quote, I'm always thinking about like, you're in traffic and somebody like flips you off, like let it go. But what if your dad hands you the poison?
right.
Like that's heavy. Like
Yeah.
what do I do with that?
Right.
As a little kid,
Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to drink the poison. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do that. And
Yeah.
the analogy carries for a long time. Well, pretty much until you're 50, if you're me. So
Yeah. Or for some people their whole lives, but
yeah,
they don't even realize it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's really
Yeah.
powerful. Even just having like the self-reflection to be able to identify that and then purposely work on it and eventually let it go. Like that's like I want to commend you on that because that is not easy to do. It's
I
huge.
appreciate that.
How do you think your mind has played a role in your physical health?
I mean, it's the only element in question. I mean, I was laughing. I may look a little tired today because I went to the gym and I was really killing it this morning. And I'm in that moment right after the gym where I'm like, do I nap? Don't I nap? So um, um I when I'm at the gym, like that's where my body wants to be. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. It's everything is perfect. It's all good at the gym. It's just it's just that place from like, the side of the bed to out the front door. And I'm all of that is like, oh God, F the gym. Like, why am I going to the gym? This is awful. I have so much shit to do. I don't want to go to the gym right now. And then just the minute I step out the door, I'm like, oh hell yeah, we're doing this. This is
Yeah.
good. This is a good day.
That's
You know?
so good. That's so true. I experienced the same thing. How have you been able to talk yourself through and get from the bed out the front door?
Okay, so I mean it's a couple of things. I mean, the first thing is I've just convinced myself that voice in my head at the house is a liar. Like it's just lying
Yeah.
because when I don't go to the gym, like there's a big down. Like I feel regret. I feel I mean shame is too big of a word, but I feel loss.
Yeah.
Like I've failed to take a step. And I don't want to hold that all day.
Yeah.
Um and I also know I know my personal math is that going to the gym in the afternoon is even harder than going to the gym in the morning for me. Um, I've occasionally done it, but for the most part, all my excuses have piled up all morning, and that voice gets louder. And then I've also like enrolled my partner. So yeah, I don't depend on her to get me to the gym, but we have an agreement that we're going to the damn gym. And when one of us starts chirping, the other one's like, oh no, gym day. And so when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, gym day. We're going to the gym. And so like I at least have another voice of reason in my midst.
Yeah.
Um, and then we get outside and I'm like, oh God, I really didn't want to go to the gym. And she goes, I didn't either. I can't believe you made me fight for that. And then we go to the gym and it's all good. And then afterwards, we freaking high five and we feel good about it. So,
Wow. That's so awesome. What does your wife think about all this and your progress and this journey you've been on?
well, I mean, the funny thing is, like, she's made so much progress. Like, she's made a ton of progress. We were just talking about it this morning. She like held out her pants and showed me that her pants are like huge on her. And I mean, that's just like having to be my support animal next to me. Like she's not even doing it. She's
Wow.
not even tracking or anything. She's just like helping me do it. So
Wow.
that's been pretty amazing. Um, I don't know. It's actually been really good for us. I think we needed something like this. Um, we've got a little bit of that empty nest vibe going. The kids are doing their own thing, and we're trying to redefine what it is to be together. And we found a few hobbies. And I think this perfectly fits into who we want to be and
Mhm.
what we want to do. And it's kind of helping define who we are as a couple. So, nothing delights me more than the thought of like in 2 years being that. And I'm going to say this in a kind of a judgy way because I've held it in a judgy way, being that like super douchey gym couple that everybody like resents. Like I'm super down with that. Like let's get that. Let's be those people.
That's so good.
Yeah.
You know why everyone
So,
resents them though.
oh yeah, because they did it. They're
Yeah.
doing it, and you haven't. Exactly right. I know.
Because it
I
reminds
know.
them, yeah, that they haven't done it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was at a conference and this couple came through and they were working together too and they were just like chiseled and perfect and they came through and they had matching outfits and everybody was like super pissed. Like they just came through it and everybody turned on them the minute they went by like, "Oh my God. They obviously went to the gym like 5 minutes ago." It was really funny. It was
That's
really funny.
hilarious. Wow. I remember when we had our first initial conversation, um, I remember you were kind of skeptical and you were like, well, like I don't know if I'm really ready. And you're in sales, I'm in sales. Like right on our first call, you didn't sign up. And in sales, usually that's like, all right, well, it was nice knowing you, right?
Yeah.
So walk me through like what were you skeptical about, and then why did you actually end up coming back around and signing up?
Well, I'll tell you. So, well, the inner struggle was like I was I was battling with what could you give me that I don't already have? And it
Mm,
goes back to what we said at the beginning of the call, like you're reminding me of stuff. Like and and this is a significant price for this program. I mean, it's not small.
yeah.
And listen, I grew up dirt poor. Like we had a summer where we just ate beans. So I know what it means to be real poor. So the price tag on this kind of freaks me out a little bit, even though I have plenty of money. It's not a big deal about the money.
Yeah.
I'm not real good at spending my money. I'm really good at earning it. But so I'm just tight and I'm protective and the truth is I'm also naive and trusting. And I'm the guy that doesn't get to stop when they do the knife demonstration at Sam's Club because I'm going to buy all those damn knives. And so, and so I tend to try to pump the brakes and just be cautious and try to see the value. And, I want to know that you're a real dude and you're authentic and you really have a real mission and you're not just a hustler on the internet. And there's plenty of hustlers on the internet. Um, and listen, you delivered. Like you guys are the real deal and you have your shit together and you've done the research and you know what you're doing and you're willing to be responsive and I don't know, it's been really clutch for me. Like any of the weak spots that I might have had, I you guys were integral in helping me shift perspective. I had a really I had a really good call with Shaylin, and I had told him like the first time we met, I was like, "Listen, if you ever see me bullshitting myself, just call me on it. Say it out loud. I'm not going to be offended. Say it." And we had a call, and I don't remember what I said, but I said something, and I was telling him all the reasons why, and I was bitching about documenting stuff. I was just over it, and he goes, "Listen, you told me to do this, so I'm doing it." But bullshit. Like you crush your workouts and you can't even document stuff on a freaking app. Come on. And I was like, oh God, I needed to hear that so bad. I needed to
Yeah.
hear that so bad. So so he delivered. Like he did exactly what I needed him to do at exactly the right time and it pulled me out of my, nonsense and
Yeah.
I don't know. That kind of accountability is golden. So I appreciate that.
I love that. Yeah. One of my mentors taught me, he was like, the best coaches are the ones who tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Right, right.
And I remember actually one of my mentors, when I hired him, I didn't even like him very much.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this guy's kind of a dick, but he also tells me exactly what I need to work on.
I love that. I love that for sure. Well, I can't say that about him. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, truly, just one of the kindest, most positive people that I've ever met, and clearly, just his depth of knowledge and intuitiveness and ability to bring my words to the truth
Mm,
is honestly next level. Next
wow.
level. So I appreciate that.
That's awesome. I'll tell him you said that.
Yeah, for sure.
He's phenomenal. I remember when I hired him, I was like, wow, I just struck gold
Oh,
here.
for sure.
Like
Yeah. No,
he's
exactly.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
How would you describe overall the program structure to somebody who isn't in it?
Um, I think, and I'll be honest, I haven't gotten to the end of the list of things, but the school stuff, all the files and all the videos and all the learning, I think is super important. And I think there's just a whole library of, uh, you know, we all have the internet and it's all out there, but to have it so perfectly organized and explained and brought down to the level that people need to experience it, that's so helpful. to have the chat rooms that are constantly firing up, and I think a lot of us type A's that are in this program like see those little red dots and have to clear them. And so I'm going through and I'm like processing all the messages, and it's just all valuable. Like everybody's being real, people are being vulnerable, people are having real life issues that I think we in our own heads we get into little battles, or at least I do, that this is trivial, this is nonsense, this is just my stuff.
Mhm.
And it's just so refreshing to hear like people getting caught up in those trivial moments that become real consequential things in your life if you don't have a support network and process through and make the change and figure out the next step. And so all of that has been really good. People's successes and people's challenges and just people, you know all the sharing is just really golden. To see everybody, to see all the stats for workouts and see everybody's workout, like it creates a sense of urgency for me. Like the more workouts I see pop, I'm like, I gotta get one on that list. I gotta get one on that list. I gotta
Yeah.
get going.
Yeah.
And so I love that. It feeds something psychological in me to get busy and get to the gym. And that's highly effective. And one of the guys, I don't know, Paul or somebody, um, put a vulnerable post on there that he loves to cheer himself on the workouts, and I totally adopted that. I was like, hell yeah, I am freaking celebrating the minute I post,
Yeah.
and it's goofy to like your own post, but I was like, hell yeah, I'm all in on that. That's
Yeah.
probably the most important cheer I get is the one I give
Yeah.
myself, and I
Wow.
love that. So, um, so that's big. I will be honest, and it's really just my stumbling point. I really struggle with documenting all the food and the macros and stuff. And I've had periods of time where I've just aced it. And of course, my weight goes down and I'm happy and everything's great. And then I just fall off. And I haven't been as disciplined on that as I'd like to be. Um, I'm so I have plans. I have plans, and my wife is on board. So we're going to get right back into this. And I kind of gave myself permission when I went to Mexico to just not track and not do anything and not even try. And now I'm all in. I'm back, and we're gonna sprint to the first of the year. We're not waiting on any first of the year bull
Good.
crap. We're gonna get going right now.
Good.
So
I love that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
like, I mean, just it's such a better feeling to go to January 1st and be like, I already have months of progress behind me.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
for sure, for
it's
sure.
just a way better feeling to enter the new year on momentum. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing those reflections on the community too, because I couldn't agree more. It's like that. I mean, there's literally like psychological research on like the herd mentality, right? If everyone
Yeah,
else is doing
yeah,
it, then suddenly I want to do it for some reason. I don't know why.
yeah.
Like it's innate in our survival mechanisms. But yeah, that's like it's like the saying goes, we become like the people we surround ourselves with. So
Right.
everybody around you is crushing workouts every day and hitting their steps and like nailing their macros. Like, dang it, well, maybe I should do that too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, I love that.
That's great. What would you say is the difference between gladiator strength and what we do versus like what else is out there?
Um, what's the difference? You know, I think the reason this program resonated with me is because I believed your heart was in it and Shaylin's heart was in it. And to me, that's more important than anything else. Like you guys are authentic, real guys that care about moving the needle for people. And the rest is, you know, I mean, shit, I could come up with a tracking system. Like, I'm not saying you didn't do a good one. I'm just saying we all have those capabilities, especially the high performers that you recruit for this program. The heart is what's driving this program, and you guys have that in spades, and I I love that. It resonates with me, and it makes me engage my heart in what I'm doing and makes it have value for me.
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's
Yeah.
like, Yeah, that hits home because I feel so blessed that this is what I get to do with my
For
life
sure.
because I love it so much. So getting to hear
Love
your
it.
story and just watching you transform, I can even see it in your face, by the way. Like literally, you look physically different. You have more energy, like versus our first call. Like it's
Oh
so
no.
powerful. And I'm really proud of you for all the steps that you've taken and the way you've just kept showing up for yourself and frankly for your family too. Right? Because
Yeah,
like it's impacting your wife, it's impacting your kids, like your son's watching everything that you
absolutely.
do. So
Absolutely.
it's really
No,
awesome.
I feel it and see it too. And we have, I mean, my wife and I have a conversation every single morning about body composition and change and progress and it's honestly, I mean, I'm getting constant feedback. I've had coworkers that have been like, "Whoa, Chris, you look like a different dude." And like, I mean, I haven't lost that much weight. I've lost some, but like clearly I've lost a ton of fat and I've gained a ton of muscle. Like I'm definitely like it's so funny. Like so I've never been a gym guy. Like I was a skateboarder and I was in the shape of my life when I was skateboarding, but I was so focused on the sport, I wasn't thinking about my fitness. There
Yeah.
was never anything intentional fitness wise. And
Yeah.
so when I, got older and quit skateboarding and like started drinking beer, I just got round because I didn't have a pattern of fitness.
Mhm.
So I'll be sitting like in a meeting and like put my hand on my arm and I'm like, oh shit, I got guns, baby. What's up? Like I surprised myself. Like,
Yeah.
what's happening? Who am I? And it's kind of hilarious. I just like discover it every now and then out of nowhere.
So good. I love
Yeah, it's the best.
it. Yeah,
It's the best.
that is the best feeling. So good. Um, well, that was mainly the main questions I had for you. Is there anything else you want to share with anyone watching this?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think we covered what was on my mind and it's a valuable program. It's good people doing good stuff and just like I told Shaylin, I'm gonna go and do my own thing for a little bit, really just to kind of test what I can do on my own but I reserve the right to come back and take another swing with you guys if I want to. So
Sounds good. Yeah,
yeah.
great. Well, thanks for coming on to this interview. If anyone wants to reach out, chat with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Um, so at I don't know what my ad is. Um, cfreedom@live.com is my email.
Okay.
We'll just do it the old man way. Reach out.
Perfect.
You want to start a business? You want to learn how I
Yeah, I
do
was
my
about to say
things?
what business should we start?
I'm super down. I literally just drove around Nebraska with a trainee going to these sales meetings and like we literally in the car started like three different businesses. I have outlines. We're ready. So
That's
it's just the way
awesome.
my brain works. So
Yeah,
I'm
so
into it.
good. Well, thanks for joining, Chris. This was awesome.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate you.